Hello everyone and welcome to the third part of our calculus derivative exercise. So let's now proceed solving this problem. This first problem, this is actually the last problem we solve on the second part. So why do I need to solve this one? Because last time I mentioned that there's actually another way for you to solve this. You know, there are actually two rules of differentiation that I can apply here. Number one, product rule of differentiation, and two, chain rule of differentiation. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to only use one rule of differentiation, which is the chain rule of differentiation. We can get the derivative of this one uh, by chain rule of differentiation. Now, what is chain rule of differentiation? So chain rule of differentiation is useful if you're going to get the derivative of a composite function. So let's just say we have a given composite function. All right. So when we say composite function, basically there is a function within a function. You know, like let me give you a common example of a function. Like for example, f of x. This is just a simple notation of a function. But if we if we're going to replace the variable x with a function in which we have g of x, just like this, what happens is that the independent variable of f is g of x. And g of x is another function. So therefore, this is about function within a function. So how would you get the derivative of a function within a function? So basically, it's like this. What you're going to do is that first, you're going to get the derivative of the outside function, which is your f, without touching the inside. So we will have f prime of g of x. Okay, that's it. Then after that, you jump into the inside, which is g of x. Then you get the derivative. So we will have g prime of x. That is how you do chain rule. Commonly, um, instead of using g of x, we usually substitute this with letters instead, instead of g. So let's represent g of x as u. Like let's imagine that u is another function. Okay, it's another function. All right, another function where it exists as an independent variable to f. Okay, so what happens is that if you're going to get the derivative of f of u, what happens is we will have get the derivative first of the outside. So we will have f prime of u, right? So as you can see, we only get the derivative of the outside, but not the inside, which is u. Then next, you get the derivative of your inside, which is your u. So the derivative of your u, let's just say this is du all over dx. Or you can just simply rewrite this as u prime if you like to, okay? U prime du all over dx, that's fine, all right? It's up to you. Du all over dx or u prime, it's okay. Now let's apply this rule to this problem, okay? Let me just simply copy this because I'm actually out of space. All right, so we have this one. Yeah. So here, we can actually apply chain rule here because you see, this 2x minus 1, we can represent this as an inner function, a function inside the squared. So we can let u as 2x minus 1, all right? Then we get the derivative of your u, okay? Remember, du all over dx or u prime, that's completely up to you, okay? So now let's get the derivative of your u. First, let's get the derivative of 2x. How would you get the derivative of 2x? Remember, last time we discussed this, that if you're going to get the derivative of a term where it has a constant, let a be the constant. Okay, this is constant. All right, constant. Then you have a given variable where it doesn't have a given visible exponent. Basically, it has a variable. It doesn't have x squared or x raised to negative 1 or square root or whatsoever. Basically, it acts as a letter. That's it. So this means that you will have the constant as an answer. So basically, if you're going to get the derivative of 2x, it's just simply as 2. That's it. Just get the constant. Minus the derivative of 1. 1 is a constant term. So if you're going to get the derivative of a constant term, you will have 0. Hence, you have minus 0. And this is your answer. 2 minus 0 is 2. Okay? Now, we will go back to this problem. Since we let u as 2x minus 1, so we will have d all over dx, or yeah, d of u squared all over dx. It would look like this. Okay? Now, we're going to get the derivative of your u. Okay? Now, the thing is, if you're going to get the derivative of your u, is it just the same with the same rules basically? Like right, previously we solved problems that has an x variable, right? So is it just the same as u, letter u? Yes, it's still the same. But however, you're going to include du all over dx after you get the derivative of that variable, right? So let's go back here. We have u squared. So we have a variable that has an exponent, visibly speaking. So what are we going to use? We're going to use the power rule of differentiation. Basically, a variable that has an exponent. So the derivative of x raised to n is simply as n times x raised to n minus 1. Okay? Where n is once again the exponent. Or in a technique, if in case you don't understand this, it's like this. Basically, first and foremost, you bring the exponent 2 below. So you have 2. Then next, copy the function, which is u squared. Then you're going to subtract that exponent by 1. So it would become 2 minus 1. That's it. All right. Then again, remember, after you get the derivative of u, you will put du all over dx afterwards. So you will have du all over dx. Then now, what we're going to do is combine and substitute. Here, let's combine first this one. So we have 2u raised to 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay? So you have u raised to 1 or 2u. Because remember that anything raised to 1 is just the same as having no exponent at all. Let me show you, all right? X raised to 1 is just the same as x. 2 raised to 1 is just the same as 2. All right? 1 is an invisible exponent. Okay? So therefore, we can just let u instead of just having u raised to 1. Then next, we have du all over dx, right? So we're going to what? Simply substitute, what do you call this one? Substitute to here. All right? Then, speaking of substitution, okay, yes, we have du as 2. And if you're going to combine 2 and 2 together, we will have 4u, right? But the thing is, it's not done yet. Okay? Because we're going to bring back 2x minus 1. Basically, we're going to substitute u as 2x minus 1. Okay? Like, let's bring it back. All right? So, let's substitute back u as 2x minus 1. And that's it. That's basically how you get the derivative of a given composite function. That's it. Actually, there is a direct approach on how would you do chain rule of differentiation. Like, what if you don't want u substitution? Like, you don't want to put u, then du all over dx. You just want go direct to the point. We can do that. Actually, we can do that. Right? So, let me just erase this formula. You can just pass backward if you like to. Okay? So, okay. First, you need to know the outside and the inside function. So, the easy one is the inside function or the inner function. The inner function here is 2x minus 1, right? Let me just put inner, right? That's the inside. Then you see outside. Outside we have squared exponent. Okay? Or basically, we have an exponent. This is the outside, or outside, right? Outside. Now, what are we going to do then? So in direct approach, it's simple. First, you get the derivative of the outside function without touching the inside. That's the first step. Now, let's apply that first step. We have an exponent of 2, right? That's the outer function. So what rule are we going to use for us to get the derivative of the outer function? So since it has an exponent, we can use chain rule of, no, sorry. We can use power rule of differentiation. Okay? So in power rule of differentiation, it's just the same thing what we did earlier. We bring down the exponent. We will have 2 times, copy the inside, 2x minus 1. Then, what equals 1? Then, the exponent above, which is your 2, you're going to subtract it by 1. Okay? So that's it. That is how you get the derivative of the outer function. Okay? Now, again, why power rule? Because the outer function is exponent. So here you will use power rule of differentiation. You bring down the exponent, copy the function, then the exponent here, we will subtract it by 1. Okay, now we get the derivative of the inside, which is 2x minus 1. Now, here we're going to get the derivative of 2x minus 1. So the derivative of 2x is 2 minus the derivative of 1 is 0. So let's combine everything. 2 times quantity, 2x minus 1 raised to 2 minus 1 is 1, or we can just leave it as 2x minus 1. Then 2 minus 0 is simply as 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. And there we go. See? That's basically a direct approach of doing chain rule. All right? Just basically get the derivative of the outside first without touching the inside. Then you get the derivative of the inside. And yeah, that's it basically. That's basically how you do it. Now, let's proceed to the next problem. So our next problem, we will have the derivative of, we have, what's this again? 4x minus 1, wait, quantity 4x minus 1 times quantity, we have x squared plus 2x minus 3. All right, x squared plus 2x minus 3. Now, since we have two given functions and they are stick together, you may be thinking product rule. So can we use product rule of differentiation? The answer is yes. We can use product rule of differentiation. But there's actually another way to do this rule, to do this derivative, all right? Which is by expansion first before you get the derivative, all right? Just like what we did in the last problem on the second part of calculus derivative exercise, which is this one, right? This one. So here, instead of using chain rule, okay, we can just expand this one. So we're going to do similarly here. We're going to expand factored algebraic expressions. All right. Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of rules, you can apply product rule here, by the way, right? You can try that to yourself. Anyway, let's go back. So here, what I'm going to do first is we're going to use product rule of differentiation. All right, let's start first with that. All right. Since commonly, what we usually do if we have two functions stick together is we will use product rule. Okay. So in here, there's another simple way for you to memorize the product rule of differentiation. All right. We will use letters. Okay. So we will use letter U and letter V. Okay. So which one is your U? Which one is your V? Okay. Pick which one. For me, my U would be 4x minus 1. And my V would be the longest one, which is x squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay. Now, we're going to get the derivative of both of them. Okay? We can just simply rewrite this as du instead of du all over dx. Okay? So the derivative of du, that get the derivative of 4x is 4. Derivative of 1 is 0. So you have 4 as the answer. Then we're going to proceed getting the derivative of v. We have x squared, so we will use product rule of differentiation. So bring down the 2, copy the function x squared, then the exponent, subtract it by 1. All right? Plus the derivative of 2x, that's 2. Next, the derivative of constant term, which is 3, so 0. So this would become 2x plus 2. That's it. Now you have this one, so you will use this formula, which is u dv plus v du. All right? u dv plus v du. Okay? u dv v du. Okay? So let's substitute our u. Wait, there we go. Our u is 4x minus 1 times your dv, that's 2x plus 2, plus your v is x squared plus 2x minus 3, plus your du is simply 4. Okay, so now we're going to combine everything. Okay, so by combining, we're going to expand these two terms because these two, they have wait, not exponent. They have parentheses, so we must remove that. So here, we will expand these two. So we can just apply FOIL method. Okay, so 4x times 2x, we will have 8x squared. 4x times 2, we will have plus 8x. 1 times negative 2x, wait, sorry, negative 1 times 2x, we have negative 2x. And negative 1 times 2, we will have negative 2. Okay? Now, next, we will do the same thing here to the right term. In here, we will just distribute the constant 4 to each of the terms here. 4 times x squared, we will have 4x squared. 4 times 2x, we will have 8x. And 4 times 3 is negative 12. Then, we can now combine similar terms. So, 8x squared and 4x squared, both of them are similar because they have x squared. So, combine them will give you 12x squared. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Next, 8x, negative 2x, and 8x here. We can combine these three terms because three of them have x. So 8x plus 8x, that's 16x, minus 2, that would be 14x. So plus 14x. And lastly, we will now combine the constant terms, which are negative 2 and negative 12. So negative 2 minus 12 is negative 14. And this can be our final answer. Or we can actually simplify this because you see 12x squared, 14x, and negative 14 are all divisible by 2. So we can factor out the 2 here. We will have 2 times quantity, 6x squared plus 7x minus 7. All right? And this can be your final answer. If you think that this is factorable to you, then good, factor it out. But if it's not factorable, then it's better to leave it that way. All right. Now, um, as I said, there's actually another way for you to solve this problem. Okay, there's another way. This one I'm showing to you is the product rule of differentiation. Right. So in the next video, we're going to get the derivative of this one, but in different way. All right, different way. Now here, you see this. You can use product rule here because you see this one, 2x minus 1 squared is just the same as 2x minus 1 times 2x minus 1. So here you can use product rule of differentiation if you like to, right? So that's all for today, and we're going to continue this exercise next time. All right? See you soon.